Hey Sagittarius, welcome to your weekly forecast for August 24th through the 30th. We're going to see what's happening the week ahead for you all with this lovely mermaid themed deck here to go with our mermaid and ocean theme for the summer. And then we're going to go ahead and pull an affirmation card for you all from this deck here. So without further ado, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, we're going to go ahead and connect here and see what's going on for you guys. Keep in mind that you will come across this video whenever you are meant to, because Spirit brought you here. If Spirit brought you here, there's messages for you here. Take what resonates, leave the rest. But, as I was going to say, you might find this video at a different time frame than the time frame I'm reading for. Doesn't matter. You'll find it when you're meant to find it, okay? So we're going to go ahead and see what's coming up for you guys. And then we have coming up here, community. Definitely a Three of Cups vibe going on here with this card. Sagittarius, this is playful energy, right? We've got the dolphins here. Dolphins are very playful. They're very much about, their little pod or their team, their little dolphin tribe. So there's a sense here of coming into your own community, coming into your own soul family, coming into your own tribe, finding like-minded people. Sagittarius, I feel some of you have had kind of like a lonely awakening as well. I think we all kind of do, right? But the first initial stages of awakening, when we're kind of waking up but the people around us aren't, it might be very hard to find people that you can have certain conversations with or like relate to. And so I feel like a lot of you are beginning to break out of that initial kind of feeling of like out in no man's land, to not having anyone that you can relate to actually beginning to have these new soulmates coming in. Now keep in mind that when I say soulmate is not always romantic, especially since those of you that watch my readings, you know that I do a love reading once a month. And then the weekly forecasts, the weekly readings, we look at everything other than love and romance. So love and romance is not our focus in this week's in the weekly reading here that we're doing right now. So when I talk about soulmates, I mean soul family. I mean people that are coming in that are meant to be in this next stage of your journey, right? A lot of you already did the cleaning house. A lot of you already cut off the toxic people. A lot of you already ended the karmic relationships, and it's been lonely, right? And now, you cleaned house, and now is the time when you're beginning to receive. You're beginning to receive the replacement, so to speak. And this is higher vibrational connections, higher vibrational friendships, and people that are like-minded, right? People who are like where you're at in your journey, people that you can actually talk to and relate with. Your next card here, Sagittarius, is responsibility. Okay, so I do feel like there's a sense here of like cleaning up your life in terms of the everyday stuff. Like a lot of you already cleaned house and you got rid of the negative influences, you got rid of the toxic people, you got rid of the karmic stuff, and you did a really, really good job clearing away anyone or anything that was a negative distraction, right? You already got that out of your life. And now I feel, Sagittarius, that this is a time that a lot of you are getting down to business in terms of like getting organized with your life. And I don't only mean organized in terms of like organizing your house or organizing your room, although that is a part of it. I don't mean organized only in that way. I mean organized like you're looking at your finances, you're looking at your accounts, you're looking at your credit, you're looking at the bills that need to be paid, you're looking at budgeting, you're looking at education and classes and training and time frames and all the things that are necessary to be aware of as you're planning for the future. Okay, And something about this card in terms of timing, it makes me think of November because of the colors. And I can't remember who else it was that had this. It may have been Cancer. So some of you may be dealing with a Cancer. Some of you may be trying to finalize things with a Cancer. That may be happening in November. Okay, that might be happening in November. I also feel something about this card as I'm looking at it for you guys, Sagittarius. I almost feel like they have like this suitcase here. They have like this baggage, and they're getting ready to just kind of like put it all out like on a table or something and just kind of like go through everything. So I feel like some of you are really getting ready to get closure by way of just laying everything out there, like just putting everything out there. So maybe some of you are getting ready to go public with a story, or maybe some of you are getting ready to like go and do some kind of motivational speaking or mentoring, which is meant to help others, but it's also healing for you. Some of you might have been going to some kind of support group or 12-step program or something, and maybe you haven't been like participating in like the shared portions. And so something might be happening that you're coming into this stage of healing where you're beginning to share, right? You're beginning to share. Sagittarius, I feel like for some of you, it's a really significant milestone, because I know that sometimes with certain like programs or support groups, like you're not allowed to share or speak up, or talk about your experience until you've like reached a certain milestone of like detoxing or like not engaging in a certain harmful behavior. And so for some of you, like that sharing is like a big deal. It's been like a big goal for you, and I feel like you're gonna finally get to do that before November. But you're gonna like finally get to like say, oh, okay, well, you know, I've detoxed, or I haven't engaged in those negative behaviors, and now you're in the place where you can like, you know, speak up or share your experiences. That's the vibe or the feeling I feel around that as well. For some of you, you're getting things off your chest, I guess, to put it in a nutshell, is you're getting to get things off your chest. As I cough, if that's not confirmation, I don't know what is. Your next card here, my darlings, is abundance, right? So as you're clearing the heart space and as you're receiving these new supportive connections in this soul tribe and in a group of supportive people, you're coming into abundance, okay? Now, keep in mind, abundance comes in many forms. It's not just financial and monetary, although that is definitely a part of it. But abundance is all good things. So it's not, you know, like maybe Sagittarius in the past, I think that a lot of you Sagittarius that are drawn to this video this week have had situations in the past where either, you know, work was really good and money was really good, but love life was crap, or love life was amazing and great, but work and money was really difficult, or there was just always like an excess in one area and complete, you know, famine in another area. Abundance is happiness in all areas of your life. Okay, abundance is happiness all across the board. And that's what I'm feeling for you guys. You have the friendships coming in, you have the emotional closure, the emotional healing, financial is coming in. So it's beginning to take shape. It's beginning to have stability, or you're beginning to establish this stability in your life, Sagittarius. Your next card here, my darlings, is healing, right? So healing is going to come through, you know, sitting with our feelings, acknowledging them, not pushing them away, not ignoring them, riding out the waves of our emotions, and being able to take them to some higher power. So I feel also in connection with this healing, there's a spiritual aspect for a lot of you Sagittarius. Maybe you've struggled to figure out what this higher power is, what or who this higher power is. And I feel like a lot of you are beginning to piece that together in your mind this week. You're getting a clearer idea a clearer definition of what or who higher power is for you, right? You know, some of you are moving away from the concept of what you were taught as a child in terms of higher power or God, and you're coming to your understanding of who or what God is, and how God works, and you're beginning to develop a relationship with your higher power, an actual relationship where like this feels real to you and you're able to connect. One piece of advice I can give those of you who are still struggling with this, because a lot of us do struggle with it, a lot of us do, especially if you've had circumstances in your life that have caused you to lose your faith, right? Once you've lost your faith, it's really hard to get it back. I know, because I've been there. But one piece of advice that I can give you is if you're struggling with understanding who or what higher power is, or if there is even such a thing as a higher power, my advice to you, Sagittarius, is just focus on engaging in the things that bring you a sense of love. And I don't mean romantic love. I don't mean romantic love, okay? Just focus on doing the things that bring you a sense of love, a sense of peace, and a sense of zen, okay? So that could be, you know, working with animals. That could be doing some kind of volunteering. It could be engaging in artistic endeavors or artistic interests, music, you know, it could be, you know, through dance, just anything that fills you with a sense of zen, inspiration, peace. That's a good place to start, because this higher power, the connection is inside of us, and the more that we are in that zen kind of energy, we can activate that connection, like wake it up inside of us, and then begin remembering what we've forgotten in terms of our connection. So Sagittarius, that being said, we're going to check out your affirmation for the week. And as always, I encourage you to watch your moon sign and rising sign videos. Some weeks those may resonate more than others. Might bring you a little extra information that might be a little helpful too at times. Or you may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do for you. If you want to click on the Calendly link in the description of the video, you can schedule a private reading with me there. Alrighty, my dears. So your affirmation here is, I surrender it all. Wow. See, surrender, surrender, surrender. And it can be a challenging thing to master the art of surrender. And so this affirmation is helping you step into that energy, especially those of you who are doing some kind of healing in terms of like a support group or a program, like a support group or a program of some kind. Surrendering is a big part of those kinds of things, right? Like mastering surrender. Serenity prayer might also be really great for some of you to incorporate this week. And surrender is a concept that was very confusing to me when I first heard it. Because when you start getting into metaphysics and you start getting into the spiritual path, you hear surrender a lot. Or if you're coming from a background of like healing through addiction, you'll hear the concept of surrender a lot. And I was like, I don't get it. Like, if we're supposed to manifest and visualize and put things out there, but then we're also supposed to surrender. Like, I didn't get, like, how does that work? It sounded so conflicting to me. And so maybe this can be helpful for some of you that are also confused about, well, you know, what does that mean if I surrender? Am I just supposed to give up and stop trying? Or like, I don't get it. So surrender just basically means that you do everything that you can in your power to have a good outcome in a situation, right? For example, if you have a job and you're really terrified about getting fired, obviously that's a very real fear. It's a logical fear. It's something that could actually happen, but you take steps to keep it from happening. You know, you make sure that if you have to wear a uniform, you show up in your uniform. You make sure that you get enough sleep so that you're able to focus on your work. You make sure you follow all of the rules, right? You show up on time, you follow all of the rules. you do your job well. Those are ways in which you're taking steps to have a good outcome. Surrender means you're like, okay, you know what? I don't have control over everything. I can only do my best. So I'm going to do my best and hope for the best, but I'm going to surrender the outcome to the higher power. I will be at this job for as long as I'm meant to be at this job. And, if I'm not meant to be there, then I have faith and I surrender that, I will be directed to the next place that's going to be a good place for me, right? I'll do everything in my power to have a good outcome, and the rest I just surrender to the higher power and I have faith. So that's the best way that I can describe surrendering, and hopefully that can be helpful to some of you as well. Again, you may want to watch your moon sign and rising sign videos. Don't forget to watch your channel the angel messages if you haven't already. Those are linked in the description of the video. The love readings are also linked in the description of the video. And don't forget, guys, every single day on social media, Amethyst Angellight, Facebook and Instagram, I post a daily card of the day with a message, and I post a daily pick a card a lot of people have really been enjoying. And every single month I give away a free 30-minute reading on my social media. And I also give away a prize, a monthly prize. So there's 2 winners every month on my social media. Be sure to check it out to see what the giveaways are for this month. And I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Have a wonderful week, Sagittarius. Take care.